those titans of industry, would be guardrails for our democracy, for the importance of sustaining democratic institutions.
No. What the are you talking about? That's your job. Disney canceled Jimmy Kimmel in doing a favor for Donald Trump and the FCC. The people were upset about that. The people canceled their subscriptions. The people yelled about it. The artists that work for Disney, the people in Hollywood, said, I won't work with Disney any longer if they continue to do this. Disney changed their mind. Sinclair changed their mind. The other company, something Next Star, something like that, they changed their minds too. They all went back on their decision. This is good. I like it when companies do a fascism. Then the people stand up and say, dude, stop doing fascism. And then they say, oh my God, I'm sorry. And they backtrack. That's a good thing. That's good for you. That's good for me. That's good for all of us. When Disney does a fascism to help the fascist government, and then the people rise up and say, stop doing that. And then all the artists come together, and then all of Hollywood comes out and says, no, dude, stop doing fascism. And then they back the fuck up. This is good. This is great. Then Sinclair backs up and says, okay, fine, we'll let him on the TV. And then Next Star backs up and says, okay, well, fine, we'll let him on the TV. And then Donnie cries and whines about it, because he did. This is good. What it's not is the companies, the corporations defending your freedom. They hurt your freedom. They harmed your freedom. They harmed your country. They harmed your society. And then we set them right. They weren't protecting us. The people were protecting themselves. Hollywood was protecting their free speech rights against the giant corporation. Kamala Harris sees it differently. And I'm going to rail about this for a minute because I think she did a bad job. She did an interview with Rachel Maddow the other day, and it was bad. It was dumb. It was nonsensical, and she's not a good person. Let's hear what she has to say.
Let me talk to you about this capitulation thing. Yep. It's really landed with me. I feel like we're all in the middle of it, but you articulating it in the way that you do, you've become the patron saint of I told you so, in terms of people understanding the sort of warnings and predictions that you made about what Trump would be like. But you say, I predicted all of that, I warned of it. What I didn't predict was the capitulation. The billionaires lining up to grovel, the big media companies, universities, so many major law firms, I will note, including your husband's.
Yeah, and he spoke out about it.
He's been very vocal in criticizing it. He said they've all been bending to blackmail and outrageous demands.
So this is a thing that's happened. Donnie is demanding they help him. They're demanding these things from the universities, demanding that the universities stop teaching DEI, and some of them have because they don't want to get sued. He demanded money from CBS, and CBS just gave it to him for editing Kamala's interview. And that's apparently a crime. Apparently, editing things is a crime, and so he sued them. And then he sued the New York Times the other day for $100 bajillion. It doesn't matter if it's true. He just wants to harm them. He wants to irritate them. He wants to demand things from them so that they will fall in line.
Why did you not predict the capitulation? And what do you make of the effort to try to put some steel in the spine of those institutions?
So, as you know, I am a lifelong public servant. And but I've worked closely with the private sector over many years. And I always believed that if push came to shove, those titans of industry would be guardrails for our democracy, for the importance of sustaining democratic institutions.
No. What the fuck are you talking about? That's your job. That's what you are supposed to do. The titans of industry would protect us. No. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what the government is supposed to do. The titans of industry are not supposed to protect you. That's your job. That's what you're supposed to be doing. The titans of industry are supposed to do capitalism. They are wielding.
They won't.
No, they won't. And no, they won't. Absolutely right. No, they won't protect you. They are wielding the capitalist power. You, Kamala, are supposed to wield the government power to keep them from robbing all of us.
Hello human, it is me, the algorithm. Press the subscribe button to make me happy.
I've talked about the two major powers a lot, and I apologize if I'm repeating it again, but maybe this is somebody's first time watching. There are only two powers, capital and community. That's it. If you want anything done, you need to pick one. If you need a couch moved, if I need to move this couch, I can pay someone with capital to move that couch. Or I can reach out to my community, my friends, my neighbors, my Discord bros, to have them come over and move the couch. That's it. There's no third option. I can't think of one. I'm totally willing to accept that there is a third one. I just can't find it. Anything that it's either community or capital. I pay a company, I pay a person, I pay an immigrant standing outside Home Depot to come and move this couch for me. I pay a moving company. Or I lean on my community, my friends, my family, the kid next door, and I lean on my friend who I drove to the airport last week, but this week he's going to help me move a couch. This is community. Those are the only two powers that there are. When this stuff gets bigger, it becomes corporations or government, because that's what the government is. It's just a community. It's whether you know it or not. You have a mayor of the city you live in. You have a state representative. You have a state legislature. You have a federal district in which you live. You might not know who your federal representative is, but that you have one. You are in a district. Then you have state senators. Then you have a president. All of these things you may not deal with on a regular basis, but they are there. That is of the people, for the people, by the people. That is the community that I'm talking about. The government is simply the large community. Corporations are the large form of capital. If you need other jobs done, if you need the road repaired, should that be a company or should that be the community? Everybody uses the road, so that falls generally under community. Knowing which jobs should be done by which power.
The chicken complain to the foxes.
Yeah. Knowing which jobs should be done by which power is important. I accept that markets and capital will take care of the clothing, the food, and the entertainment. That's fine. I would not like the mayor of my city to determine which clothes I get to wear. That doesn't make any sense. I don't want him to decide what flavor of Doritos show up on the store shelves. I don't want him to decide which YouTube or which Netflix shows are allowed within his little town. That doesn't make any sense. So we'll leave that to the capital power, the markets to decide. If nobody wants to eat the what's a bad flavor of Doritos? If nobody wants to eat the green flavor of Doritos, the salsa verde, then no one buys them, and then no one produces any more, and then they don't show up on the shelves. I'm sorry. That's how capitalism works. Even if you like it, you can lobby the Doritos company and you try to get the salsa verde ones back. But most of the people like the blue and the red, the Cool Ranch and the nacho cheese. Those are the ones that are on the store shelves.
Toothpaste and OJ flavored.
Toothpaste and orange juice flavored Doritos do not sell very well. You're right, Shinsinto. Toothpaste, orange juice flavored Doritos do not sell very well. I am explaining socialism, and I am generally a market socialist. That's what I got because of government overreach. Yeah, absolutely. So most people are okay with the government, of the people, for the people, by the people, taking care of the roads, the infrastructure, the military matters, because the roads don't make a profit unless there's a capitalist who built them and then charges you a toll, but nobody likes that. Everybody hates toll roads. Most of the tolls that you do see are from bridges, and that's the government recouping the cost and maintaining the bridge itself because it needs constant money. And it makes more sense to just charge the people who are using the bridge than taxing everyone. There's a bridge in California, and you have to pay the government to use it rather than charging everybody in California, even though they're 500 miles away, for that bridge. This makes sense. This is a government doing things. Don't charge the taxes on a person 100 miles away for using the bridge. These are all complicated, nuanced situations that need people to understand. And the point that I'm dangerously veering away from is that Kamala should know this. She should know that the corporations are not going to save you. She should know this. Does she know it? I think she does. If she didn't know it, it's because she's dumb and she's not paying attention, which I don't think is the case. I think she does know this, but she is steering us towards a different truth. This is an insane statement. I'm going to listen to it again. And this is an insane statement. We're going to go back a few seconds and we're going to listen to it again.
And I always believed that if push came to shove, those titans of industry,
Disney,
would be guardrails for our democracy, for the...
No, that's insane. They exist to make profit. They do not exist to hold up our democracy. I think she knows this is an insane statement. Why would she make it? Because she is a capitalist first. The DNC needs money. Baby, they need lots and lots and lots of money. If Disney is protecting your democracy, then you can feel better about subscribing to it, can't you? You feel better about their continued stock gains. You feel better about their complete grasp of popular culture. This gives Disney more money to donate to the politicians that are gaining them the money. If she protects them, they give her money. The DNC, the centrist Dems, and including Kamala Harris, it's their job to make more money for the corporations so that the corporations will give them some of that money. Generally, and now here's where, and I've boiled this down to basically two ideologies. There are two powers: the capitalist power and the community power, sure, but there are lots of underlying ideologies. But generally, if you prefer freedom, you move to the left. If you prefer prosperity, you move to the right. What is prosperity? Well, it's doing the most good for the most people. Sometimes that requires you give up some of your freedom. If you want the most freedom, you would have to give up some of the things that might help other people, or the things that might sacrifice for some sort of good. If maximum freedom means you're all alone, but that's a bad thing. Don't go all the way freedom, and don't go all the way prosperity, because at the extremes, you get the freedom extreme, which is just anarchy, everybody out for themselves. You can't have a society based on that. Ultimate prosperity leads to company towns, leads to 1984, where the message is controlled, the things you see and hear are controlled completely, and everything is for the benefit of the state. That's not a good idea either. So there is a balance to be had between those two ideologies, but there's also a balance to be had between the government and the capital. So we need to properly balance that. And that's what I'm ranting about right now. I'm ranting about Kamala not respecting that balance. She is shifting the balance toward the corporation. She is shifting the balance towards the people on the right. She is shifting the balance towards the capitalist side rather than the community side. And I don't like that. If Kamala is helping them to get more money, then they will give some of that money to the DNC. It's their job to make more money for the corporations so that the corporations will give them some of that money. The DNC can then be a bigger, better jobs program. They can hire more staffers. They can hire more consultants. They can hire more think tanks. They can have more Facebook pages managed for lots of money. They can hire more social media personalities, and then they will have the same message. The titans of industry will protect you. And that message is wrong. The titans of industry might protect you if it coincides with their bottom line. Disney will protect your free speech if it is profitable for them to do so. The companies will protect your rights if they make money on it. If they don't, they won't. And that is why you cannot trust them. That's why you need to have the opposite power of government. That's why you need the two powers to be balanced properly. That's why you need the capitalist power to be offset by a government power.
Click on this video link to appease the many AI overlords.